Many of you recognize that hit, Island in the Sun by Weezer. The rock band, super popular in the 90s and early 2000s, selling more than 35 million albums worldwide. But the wife of Weezer bassist Scott Shriner is finding herself in hot water this morning. This after a recent shootout with police. Her case is trending in true crime. On Wednesday, she appeared in court. Prosecutors say that she knowingly shot at police back in early April, while officers were searching her neighborhood for hit-and-run suspects in an unrelated case. Now, the Los Angeles Police Department shared footage of the encounter with Jillian Shriner. This is leading up to that fiery exchange between police and this woman who is also a published author.
Help! We're trying to help you!
It looks like that location's going to be 12 the long driveway up in the middle, kind of at the top of the hill between Water Place and Eagle Vista.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Got it up, but she just lifted it up.
She must have... Get down, get down! Shut up!
All right, now she got shot in the arm. According to NBC News, no charges filed against Shriner as of yet. Prosecutors still assessing the evidence before presenting it for an indictment. Shriner was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder of police officers. That charge certainly seems to fit after what we saw here. She's out on bond after posting a $1 million bail. We're asking, do we believe she didn't know she was shooting at the cops? Apparently, that's what she related at the scene, that she didn't know that it was police outside of her house. Let's bring in two experts I want to welcome in this morning, Manuel Gomez and Jason Piccolo. Good morning to you both. So anxious to get your thoughts on this whole situation and what this woman knew, didn't know, and how bad this could have gone. Manuel, would you start us off, please?
Well, Julie, unfortunately, in this case, I believe in this instance, the cops lied, and I'm going to tell you why. If you look at the beginning of the video, when Jillian comes out on the porch, she racks the gun, loads the gun at that point. I don't believe the police when they say that she racked it again a second time, because if she would have racked the gun, it would show a loaded bullet thrown on the floor. So I don't believe that. That's one, because there was one bullet that was fired, okay, and I believe that bullet was fired because when they hit her, okay, it caused the arm to jerk and pull that trigger. And the best way to prove this case, and if I was her private investigator, I would demand that her defense attorney get the aerial footage from the helicopter, which was right above the house, zooming in. All police helicopters have standardized cameras and take pictures and videos of the scene. That's automatic on the helicopter. So that's something that I would do in this case. Again, I don't believe that she racked the gun because the video clearly proves she racked it when she came out the house.
Oh, Manuel, great analysis. Really, really excellent stuff. Some more context here. The LAPD apparently were responding to a hit and run involving 3 suspects. That's apparently why they were in the neighborhood and looking over that backyard fence, and she comes out with the gun. So that's why they were there in the first place. Jason Piccolo, to you next, please. Your thoughts on all this?
Well, she did point the weapon at the police, and they did say California Highway Patrol. I believe there was another video before that where they said police. So they clearly identified it. The only issue with that is that she could be in a tunnel vision type scenario where she doesn't really have cognizance of what's going on around her. So much activity, so many people screaming at her. So I can see that viewpoint. I would like to see all of the body cam footage. And also, as the other guest said, the video, if there is, from the helicopter above. But there's a lot of factors to this. But the fact that she did point the weapon at the police or at a person did give them reasonable. They could actually fire their weapon and stop the threat.
Great analysis, Dr. Jason. Thank you. Okay, so let's turn to the other aspect of this. So some evidence presented by the LAPD is a Shriner on a 911 call describing the shooting. Let's take a listen to this.
I had my gun. Okay. And he said, put down that gun, put down that gun. I said, put down your gun.
Oh,
And
okay,
then he
okay.
shot me.
Okay, that's what happened, I guess. How long do you think until someone can be here?
Well, the officers are looking for this man. That's why I'm asking. Do you know where he went?
I have no idea where he went. Where was he when you got shot?
There's 3 men out at the other side of this fence here.
Now, nearly an hour later, Shriner was arrested outside of her home while lying in the street with that gunshot wound to her shoulder. Okay, so we're wondering, is she going to do any jail time? It's been reported that she raised the gun and fired a shot. No police were injured. We know they gave her commands to drop her weapon. She didn't comply. What's she looking at here, do we think, in terms of charging and in terms of any time behind bars? Manuel, let me go back to you.
Well, again, if she did pull up the gun and point at the police, then she's looking at attempted murder. The problem in this case, like I said to you before, she did not rack that gun twice. There's no indication of that. It shows her standing and touched the gun, but you see her load it. And it's not illegal for her to carry that gun outside her property in California. As long as that gun was legally purchased, there's no doubt that, you know, at a minimum, they're going to lower the charges as soon as that helicopter footage is seen. Because you can clearly see in the videos, Julie, the helicopter's right above the house. And it will give a clear perspective of what she actually did. So that's what I'm looking for. But the other thing is, and I think will be the catalyst of this case, is the toxicology report.
Oh, that's interesting. You think, tell me why, Manuel. I want to ask you a follow-up, please.
Well, the reason why I believe she possibly was under the influence of something is, 1, she walked back so calm. 2, she did not even touch her shoulder. She was just grazed by a bullet. That does hurt. Any normal person would have been holding the wounded area. She walked back like if she was going to go get her coffee cup. There was no problem. So that tells me that she was possibly under the influence of some type of substance.
Interesting. I appreciate that analysis, Manuel. Something else we should watch for with this. Dr. Jason Piccolo, to you next, please. In terms of what you think may be appropriate charging for her and the reality of whether you think this woman should go to prison and will go to prison.
Well, you know, in order to make the charge, you need to put all of the facts together. One thing I'd like to look at is if she did have gunshot residue on her hands, whether or not that pistol was fired, where that projectile went, if they could recover it, the shell casings. One thing, I hate armchair quarterbacking, but they did say California Highway Patrol, and I think believe in police before that. But when you're doing things like this, you should always identify yourself as much as possible. One thing to counter your guess is that when some people do get shot, they don't show signs of being shot right away. There's a ton of evidence of that. Like sometimes a bullet will enter the body and you don't even know you're shot. So there is going to be things, and me too, I would like to see the toxicology, but the fact that you're under the influence of anything doesn't negate the fact that you could be charged with attempted murder.
Such great analysis from you both. These prosecutors, I commend them for being so careful, and clearly this was a bit of a messy situation, and they're going to assess everything, any spent casings, figuring out whose gun fired what the things were that precipitated all of this, and review everything. Like you said, that aerial footage, Manuel, all of it really is going to come into play. We have to leave it there for now, but at this point she is out, and we'll see what charges come. Dr. Jason Piccolo, Manuel Gomez, such great analysis and insight from you both. Thank you for your time and expertise. We'll look forward to having you both back very soon. And still to come here on Opening Statements.